Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy OCZ Savage. Today we're jumping into some special tactics builds. And what I mean by that are these are going to be traditional builds that, well, non-traditional builds, I should say, that still work. So they're going to be really, really fun. First one we're jumping into is going to be Melee Mom. And what we're going to do is pretty much just abuse temp health and numb the whole time. You're going to be stupid tanky. You'll still have all the melee damage, and then you'll have so much temp health. And then with Mom's passive for the temp health decay, you know, of course it's going to stay on there way longer. And then as long as you're using pumped up, you're going to be literally chilling. You're always going to be temp healthed up. Now another really good thing about this build too, especially like if you're playing with, you know, people on your team, you guys can actually coordinate your deck beforehand. As long as you guys have fit as a fiddle, like if the whole team rocks fit as a fiddle and you're running this build, you will have so much bolstered health, and with the temp health decay, it will never run out. So you're just gonna be so tanky. Now the downfalls to this build, of course, is gonna be the stamina regen. You know, when you're meleeing on pretty much anybody except Holly or Evangelo, you're gonna be having this, I guess, side quest battle with stamina. So you just want to make sure you properly are controlling that, you know, so not just going crazy with the melees. You know, you might have to melee a couple times, wait a second, you know, melee a couple times, wait a second. But once you get like adrenaline fueled and then you get like the rhythmic breathing, you're gonna literally be chilling. And then, you know, as you can see, you know, you get grabbed up by a crusher or, you know, hit by any mutation to where they would give you a little bit of trauma. It doesn't do as much damage. You know, when you have that numb, you actually have temp health. So I think this is a really, really strong build to use. Obviously, you know, it's more of a troll deck because if you're going to melee, you might as well just use, you know, Holly, Charisse. But, you know, if you want to have a little bit fun, take a different direction to melee, and I would definitely say try out Mom. You know, the temp health is really, really strong. And then at the time of the video, I wasn't using Hunker Down. But if you use Hunker Down and you're actually crouching when you're meleeing and whatnot, that'll just give you so much more damage resistance. And it allows you to pretty much hold off, you know, crazy hordes like this. You know, you'll stay alive long enough. So I think you guys will really like this build. So getting into it here, we got the Battle Lust, we got the down in front meth head. Now, again, the main things is going to be really just the temp health. So we're going to focus on Face Your Fears. We're going to have the pumped up, we're going to have the rhythmic breathing, we're going to have the vanguard. Now I do use pep in your step instead of fleet of foot. Because, you know, every time you get a, you know, you just slice somebody's head off, that'll give you another 8% movement speed. As far as variations, you could move combat knife up. If you really wanted to, you could take pep your step. Pep in your step, you could take that off and you could actually just add fleet of foot, which would just give you that 8% all around. So you could do something like that. And then again, since the time of this video, I actually took out cross trainers and I added Hunker Down. So I would definitely say try that for a little bit more resistance. Now for this next build, this is going to be a healing efficiency reuse hang healing deck. And it's so dope because if you're using Magician's Apprentice and then with his passive, the 5% reuse, you'll be able to reuse med kits, heals, you know. I've had 2 med kits that I've used 4 times, or sometimes you'll have 3 med kits, you know, you can use them up to 6 times. So it's actually a really, really fun build because you'll be able to use the heals so many times. And then as long as you have like healing efficiency, you know, you got your EMT bag, you got your medical professional, you're still going to be healing them up like super heavily, just like a doc. So it's a really, really fun build. Also, what we're going to be incorporating into it is miraculous recovery. So not only are we going to have like, you know, the medical professional type of heals, we're also going to be using miraculous recovery. So as you can see, you know, you'll buy 1 pain pill, 2 pain pills before match so you can heal everybody up. Man, you'll be able to use those pills 3-4 times, you know, especially when you're running up on boxes in the middle of, you know, the hive, stuff like that. You're hitting everybody with these heals. You'll have a 1 out of 4 chance to miraculous recover them. And then you'll have like a 20% chance to use the item again, because you'll have the 15% from Magicians, and then you'll have the 5% from Hang. So it's honestly a super duper strong build, you know, really unconditional. It'd be better to just use Doc for the extra 15% healing efficiency on top of that. But with miraculous recovery, with the reuse chance, it honestly makes this build pretty solid. So I would definitely try this out. I've been using this one too. We got the Magician's Apprentice EMT bag to start off, then we're going into down in front. Now a couple variations that you could make to this deck, because I have group therapy pretty high on this deck, and the reason being is because if you get a reuse chance and you also hit that person with a miraculous recovery, it's going to hit the entire group with the miraculous recovery, which I didn't know that. So the group therapy actually can be pretty darn good if you're using that correctly and you get, like, you know, obviously some good luck. Now, if you wanted to move it down and take the medical professional miraculous recovery route a little bit earlier, you could do that. But honestly, I kind of like the group therapy higher up in this deck only because the reuse chance and the miraculous recovery. Now for this last build, this build is pretty fun because we're not going to use any damage, any melee, any cards that directly support ourselves. So this is going to be like a team effects deck. So we're gonna have everything that just gives you team effects. So we're gonna have Bomb Squad, we got the offensive scavenger, the amped up, on your mark, share the wealth. Now this deck, you could definitely play around with this deck because there's so many team effect cards that you could use. You know, for example, if you want to add ammo for all, you know, you can get needs of the mini. You know, there's always weapon scavenger, ammo scavenger. There's so many different variations. The one that I have on the screen, I think this is like the most fun one that you could use, only because it's pretty much it's gonna proc off of people going down. And as mean as it sounds, it's actually a really fun build. So if a horde gets spawned or if anybody goes down, this is pretty much gonna proc every single card that you have for the most part, like other than the scavenger cards and like Bomb Squad. But it's super dope though, because you'll have, like, you know, on your mark for when a horde gets called mixed with amped up. So y'all instantly get more ammo, you'll instantly get the heals. And then if somebody goes down, it'll have the inspiring sacrifice, the avenge the fallen. So you'll instantly get that damage boost, and then you also get the heal boost. So as soon, like, you know what I mean, as soon as a person goes down, it's so easy to clear the hordes out with the extra damage. And then of course with the heals, like, you know, as long as you're not the person going down or getting beat up, you're pretty much going to heal to full life. And you know, I know it sounds really mean, but in this build, in this deck, you're gonna want your teammates to go down. I'm not saying kill them, you know, team kill them, anything like that. But as you can see, as soon as a person goes down, you know, that activates the whole build. You're gonna be healing, you're gonna have more damage. So this is definitely super fun. Another really good thing about the build too is just the amount of stuff that's going to be on the ground in general. So from like offensive scavenger, you're going to be finding nades, molotovs, you're going to be finding red barrels. From copper scavenger, you're going to be finding money. So you'll definitely have a little bit of everything. Make sure you guys go out and try this build. It's definitely super fun, you know, because again, it's not going to require you doing anything. You'll just have to stay alive, and you'll get nothing but buffs every time a horde gets spawned or even a teammate goes down. So I think you guys are really gonna like it. Make sure you guys slap that like button. We got more special tactics builds on the way. There's been a lot of things that I've been thinking of that are super troll, so I think you guys are really gonna like it. Also too, down in the comments, let me know what you guys like to build or what decks you guys like to run when you're trolling. And also too, make sure you hit that sub button. We're already at 500 subs, so we're halfway to our goal. I appreciate you guys so much every day for checking out the videos. We're still on that road to 1,000. We're halfway there. So again, make sure you guys hit that sub button. We'll have more deck tips, tricks, videos. We got more special tactics videos on the way. So as always, I appreciate you guys stopping on the vid, and I'll see you on that next one. Peace.